This is the Trade Machine Podcast. My name's Alex Sons. I'm here with my wonderful and delectable as ever little brother, Hunter.
You're using weird words now.
You like that? I like that one.
I'm going to have to Google it.
Come on. And my other brother, Rich. Rich, what's going on?
What up, man?
This is going to be a fun one. So we just finished the All-Star break. I didn't watch a second of anything that had to do with the All-Star
any
game.
of that shit.
Yeah, I just usually it sucks. I heard it was better.
Dunk contest, get rid of it.
3-point contest was good.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah,
you kind of got to get rid of the dunk contest, man.
Yeah, it just needs to go.
If nobody's
Chase Richardson almost killed himself.
You got to get. He did actually. That was kind of nuts.
He stuffed himself on the side of the rim and almost smacked his head on the ground.
Yeah, he cracked something. Yeah, he had to have fractured some shit, bro.
They zoomed in and just barely didn't. Okay.
All right, let's keep pushing. Today, we're going into the final home stretch of the season. And we've got a list here that Richard has made of the 5 players who have the most at stake. Hunter and I do not know the list. We're going to react. We're going to talk a little bit more about each one of these players, their teams. I'm pumped about it. So, Rich, the floor is yours. Who's the first guy on your list?
So, first up, before we start, I tweaked it a little bit and I made it so I picked the team and I got one specific player from that team that I feel like is most impactful to the success of the team, if that makes sense. So,
let's get it.
First up, we got, this is no particular order, it's just kind of as I thought of them, but we got the Houston Rockets and Kevin Durant.
All right. No, let's go one at a time. Let's just go one at a time. Yeah.
So I got.
Why'd you got him?
It's a point in his career where he's done everything there is to do in the NBA. He's won a championship. I'm not sure if he's had a scoring leader. But anyway.
He definitely won a scoring title.
Yeah, I'm like, he had to have. So KD doesn't necessarily have a lot to prove, but at this point in his career, I feel like he can further his legacy. This run with the Rockets, I'm really wondering. Like, my question is, in what ways can this elevate his legacy, and do you think it can hurt his legacy if they don't succeed?
I don't think there's a world where his legacy's hurt. Can we talk about Burnergate first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here's the thing. I can't speak to all these, but here's the thing that I think just goes really unappreciated with Kevin Durant. In one way, he's one of the most unrelatable basketball stars ever because he's 7 foot tall and he can shoot and dribble like a guard, right? On the court,
he's always
one of the most unrelatable players ever. Off the court, he's one of the most relatable athletes we have ever had in the history of professional athletics. Probably the most.
Yeah.
Because what did he say? Like, now some of the stuff about like Devin Booker in the locker room or Steve Kerr, I can't speak to none of that. All right. The stuff he said about on court though, he didn't tell a lie.
Yeah.
He said Şengün doesn't shoot or defend. He kind of doesn't do either of those things. Now, should he probably say that? No.
Probably not.
He said it's easier to play with Kyrie than it is to triple-double addict Russell Westbrook.
What did they say?
Was that a little much?
Triple-double cocaine bear? Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Look, is he wrong?
Hey.
Probably not. Look, Russell Westbrook, MVP.
That's my dog, too.
Top 75 player, right? He ain't wrong. Now, I can't speak to Jabari Smith's mental capacity.
That was personal, bro. Him and Jabari must have got into some shit. That was personal.
But here's what I want to say about Kevin Durant. I think he is one of the most underappreciated for how good he is. We're talking about a top 12 player all time.
Yeah.
You could go through era by era, and he's probably the only guy in that top 12 where you probably wouldn't say his name first. Like, you've got the 60s, you have Bill Russell and Wilt. The 70s, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The 80s, you got Magic and Bird. The 90s, you've got Jordan. Then you got the 2000s. You're talking about Shaq and Tim Duncan and Kobe. Like, you say all those names, but then you get to the 2010s and you're talking about Steph and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's the D-Wade
Kevin Durant
of this era.
He kind of is, bro, but he's but he's even better.
way better than KD. Skill level wise, no. I'm just talking about how
That's what
great D Wade was, and nobody talks about to this day. Nobody really talks about D Wade for real. I mean,
this might be sacrilegious, but if I give me any player all time, I need a bucket. You got 10 seconds on the clock. You need a bucket. I think I'm taking KD over anyone all time. Right? You could argue Jordan. You can maybe argue some other guys, but like I need a bucket. It's KD.
I mean, Giannis.
Probably over anyone.
I won't argue that. I won't argue that.
In my opinion, you want Giannis? What are you talking about?
I was just trying to get someone who can't shoot. That was the whole point.
Kevin Durant, I think, is the greatest scorer of all time, and in some ways, he is one of the more unappreciated stars of all time. At the same time, I just don't understand it. It's because he's weird. He's bouncing around all over the place. Most people think his 2 championships are fraudulent. I don't think he has anything to lose because he's already kind of so hated.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has so much to gain, though, if this team could figure it out. That's why I'm just so mad they didn't do anything at the deadline.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not go get a guard? You got guys like Colin Sexton out there that are available. Like, what are you doing? Kevin Durant is 37 years old.
Go ahead, Hunter. My bad.
I think that it can't really hurt him, not just because of he's already hated, but no one's expecting this team to win the championship or was expecting them to win. So them not winning is not going to hurt him. It's only going to help him if he wins. And Alex's point with why didn't they get someone? Harden apparently wanted to go to their team.
Yeah, but
that would have been their point guard. But to be fair,
offense for a loop. I wouldn't want
that one could have been a KD saying no, though.
Yeah, KD's probably over. I'm sure there's another burner gate where he calls Harden the Pillsbury Doughboy or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. And I got one more question for KD. What do you think is his biggest roadblock for success of the franchise, the Rockets, in his tenure there?
Not having a point guard. I think if they have a point guard, it's a whole different story. I don't think.
Go ahead.
You're talking about KD personally.
Well, I mean, just as a whole, whatever.
I think if they had even just like Ayo Dosunmu, like the move that the Wolves made, I think this team is right up there as a contender. But as it stands, I'm taking 4 teams probably in the West over them. Yeah, and Kevin Durant's been awesome all year.
That was my biggest thing.
You're relying on a 37-year-old dude.
That was my biggest thing, was not having Fred VanVleet. Is really changing, I think, what they thought this team could be. Not that they're any less talented, but you don't have. I mean, it's not a point guard, so that's not gonna. It's just not gonna work. But yeah, okay, I like it. Hunter, do you have any closing thoughts before we move on?
Gotcha. No, I'm kind of with Alex that they just really need a point guard.
Agreed.
Hunter's just here to look cute
or play a point guard
because
they don't really start Reed Shepherd, and that could also help him if they just let him start.
Hunter, never mind.
So next,
if you had to stop yourself, it was going to be something crazy. I'll
mark that.
It got to stay. All right, next up,
you first.
We got Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham. How do you think Detroit matches up against the top 4 of the West? And do you think this is real? Do you think this is like sustainable through the postseason? And then ultimately, when they get to the finals, whatever team is there in the West, like I said, top 4 right now, as the standings are, how do you think Detroit matches up against those guys?
I still
probably should have had those ready, huh?
Still kind of feel like they need that second guy is what could hurt them in the playoffs. Playing those long minutes
for you.
No, you just don't.
Really?
They could easily make it there because they've been this good that long without the second star level player, but they don't really have the second playmaker that they would need, I feel like, to make it far.
And that's why I was hoping. So after I seen the James Harden news, I was hoping that Kawhi was on his way out as well, and that he would probably. I was hearing rumors about Kawhi in Detroit, and that was that needle mover. Like for me, that would have been like, okay, I'm putting my bets in now on Detroit, just because their culture of they're already the gritty team, second coming of the bad boys. Like they just nobody wants to play Detroit. It's a real. I was about to say bumper grind. I ain't trying to get too freaky, but you know what I mean. Like they,
Maybe they are though.
but you add Kawhi to that,
Big Stu.
who's seasoned and is already one of the best defenders we've ever seen. It would have just been nasty, but it didn't happen. So, but we got
I think
OKC, Spurs, Nuggets, and Houston in the top four of the West. Okay, but go ahead. What was you saying?
Well, I was doing this exercise. I can't remember if I was talking with Hunter or somebody else, but like, how many teams could win the title and you wouldn't be shocked? Like, just kind of going through, like, would I feel shocked? And I think I would be absolutely shocked if the Pistons won the title.
Me too.
Like,
That's
and
why
which
I
is
asked.
crazy to say because they're the 1 seed. You know, like I even going through, it's like if the Celtics won the title, there's obviously where it was like Jason Tatum. If he's 90% of himself, that team's awesome. I wouldn't be shocked. They won 2 years ago.
Yeah.
If the Knicks won the title, like I'm loving Jose Alvarado off their bench. They got
that was
Sohan too.
Yeah, that was
Like,
nice. Nice pickup.
There's a real world for them where it's like I think they could compete. Do I think they're better than any of those 4 teams in the West? No. But I think I'd be shocked because Cade, for his credit, Cade is doing 90 to 95% of what Luka does offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't have the explosive nights from, like, he's not giving you 50 balls the way Luka does. But, I mean, he is a one-man offense. He's awesome. He's huge. And the way that he can score, like we talk a lot about 3-level scorers, and that really just means a guy who can get to the basket and also score from 3. But like he's a legit 3-level scorer.
Yeah.
The way he weaves in and out of the lane, he'll bump a shoulder and then hit a step back midi. Like when he's on, he's one of my favorite players in the league to watch. And Jalen Duren's great. You like a lot of their role players, Asar, Ron Holland, Tobias. I like Herter for them, but they don't have another guy you can trust. And in the playoffs, they throw everything at Cade. It's either they make shots or they lose, and they don't really have shooters outside of Duncan Robinson. Kevin Herter should be that shooter, but he's shooting like 31% from 3 on the year. He's going to have to turn it up a little.
And none of those guys have postseason experience, like extensive postseason experience.
Outside of last year, like Tobias does.
Yeah, right.
But he's not the same guy he was even 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
Jalen Duren was the youngest All-Star this weekend. He's the youngest guy there. Like, I think they're gonna need to make a big move this summer. I would be shocked if they won. I really would, because I just don't think they're better than any of those 4 teams in the West.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just missing one thing, and it is the second playmaker. 'Cause I don't know the last time a team's won a championship without like a good second playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have anyone else who can pass the ball either at a good level like Cade.
It's Herter now.
Yeah, he's not a great passer, so
And he's more of a movement shooter. Like he can do a little bit on the ball, but he's not supposed to do that.
Most of their players are off the ball, and they don't have that second guy that you would usually get on a championship team. So that's the whole problem.
I agree. That was my biggest thing, Hunter, was the fact that they didn't have that. That's why I was pushing for Kawhi to be there so much, because that will give, if he can take a load off of Cade and kind of use his greatness in spurts rather than him having to go the full game just doing every single thing. That's what changes things for you. Like this, I think I mentioned this before. This Pistons team reminds me of the Miami's team, but Miami had LeBron and D Wade, kind of 2 guys to kind of take the load off of each other. Of course, LeBron was the god, but you got D Wade there, who's just as great, and was willing to take that back seat to the greatness of LeBron. And then they had the supporting cast around them. You got the shooters and Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Ray Allen, and then that's, you put them on the floor. It gave you so much variety when it came to lineups, and it gave you so much more just ability to do different things, get guys in different positions for success. And they just don't have that. Like you said, they just don't have that second guy to even really try that. Because if K's not on the floor, then that the team looks so much different. It's just not that they still aren't good. They still got the defense. Like that's not going to change whether K's on the floor or not. But offensively, it's just not the same team when he's not on the floor. Next up, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards. This is probably the one I was most excited to talk about, just because Anthony Edwards is my guy. I just love him as a player, even as a person as well. He's just funny as hell.
Got 42 kids too.
Right. Now that's something, somebody got to talk to him about that, because that's not.
Young man's fertile.
That is not player, my boy.
I did not like how you said that. That was terrible.
Yeah,
I like the little nods you did too.
I didn't tell a lie, man. He is.
But got a couple questions for Ant. Can he take his game? Can he take another leap from what we've seen already? We've seen him in the Western Conference Finals. We've seen him in Game 7s and big moments. Not necessarily him coming through himself, but his team rallying behind him and doing whatever needs to be done.
And him coming.
He's come through as well. But I think the best leaders in the game, they give the guys behind them the energy to, feel like they could do it too, just the belief. So can he take another leap from what we've seen already? And do you think? And this is after whatever happened with the new CBA and the first, second April stuff, and we'll see how that looks. But do you think Minnesota could become a dynasty?
I don't. They need another young guy because most of their core pieces are older, other than him. But they could definitely win now in the next few years too.
Yeah,
because they always rise up farther, like in the playoffs. They're usually like the 5th or 6th seed, I feel like, but they always end up in the conference finals or right at it.
Yeah.
And I think they could easily get there, but Ant it feels like he kind of takes a step back and lets everyone else on the team try and score in the playoffs. But
I agree.
I feel like he should just be trying to go score himself more.
And hopefully we see that this year. Go ahead.
It's weird because Ant gets the rap of being kind of like a ball dominant.
No, he tries to let everyone else
so
score.
Confident, or he talked like there's all the jokes about how he told all the ping pong players at the Olympics that he was better than
Hey,
them.
I watched. Wait, real quick before we move on.
They smoked his ass.
Before we move on, I just watched on I think it was on Prime. He's got like an episode of him going through that. It was the funniest shit ever, bro. But yeah,
I'm telling you, he's got this extreme confidence where he's like, I could play in the MLB.
Shit, that's me. I'm the same way. If I'm not,
that's what I'm saying. But I think he gets this like rap that like he's a ball dominant player, thinks he has to be the guy, and I actually don't think he's the guy enough.
Yeah,
he's a little too passive.
Facts.
I feel like in the close situations, he doesn't just take the ball and score when usually that's what your star player should do, and he kind of tries to get everyone else
kind of the same way that they talked about LeBron doing it.
Similarly, yeah. What I love the most, though, I think when I talk about there's 4 teams in the West that I think are real contenders, they're one of the 4.
I agree.
I think they can beat anybody. I think they're just a notch above Houston because it's really those 5 teams and everybody else. And honestly, there's really a world where I think they might be the second best team in the West, especially with Dosunmu out. The roster's loaded. They're going to get Conley's back. They went from being really like a huge hole with point guard. I thought they just needed a Trey Jones type of point guard. They go out and get Dosunmu, who's a real guy that can play the point for them.
And he can shoot it.
Hey, that's the thing about Ant is last year, you talk about him taking a leap. It's like these incremental little mini leaps he's taken every year. Where like last year he was breaking 3-point records for the season.
Yeah.
And then he's still shooting over 40% from 3. He was never supposed to be a shooter. He's one of the most elite isolation players, along with Julius Randle, who's talked himself into that same conversation of the best ISO players in the league.
Yeah.
He's been awesome. DiVincenzo's been great, where he was hurt a lot of last year. I just love this team, dude. I think that Ant, him and Tatum both kind of have this thing where their peaks are so high, but they're also just not consistent enough to be up there with the Shays Giannis, Jokic, like the MVPs.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's still a top 5 to 7 player. But you just see the flashes with Ant, and you're like, he looks like Michael Jordan.
Literally.
And it's not even crazy to say it. And he doesn't have any weaknesses in his game. I really think the only weakness is just him understanding when it's time to take over a game, ironically.
What is he, 24?
And if you
24 now?
Yeah, he's like 24, dude. And he just wins. He just beats everyone in the playoffs. Like, I don't know what it's 2 straight Western Conference Finals appearances with 2 different teams. One of them was the Cat team. Last year's with Julius Randle and them.
This is their best roster too for them.
And this
is the best roster he's ever had.
That's what sparked the question for me of can they become a dynasty? Because when everything else is changing around him, it seems like no matter what, he's able to get the best out of the guys on the team. And it starts there. It starts with a guy like Shea, a guy like Jason Tatum, a guy like Luka who can elevate the guys around them. And, just no matter who's on the team, can we keep a core together? Because that's important. Like I said at the beginning, depending on whatever the CBA is, come that time. What is it, 2027 that they're voting on, or 2029?
I don't know when their first out is. It's in the next 3-4 years.
Well, yeah, but whenever that is, we'll see how.
2029 is when it's up, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what the team looks like then. But as long as Anthony Edwards is there, I think they could build enough around him for them to be good year in and year out, contend every year, and have it be kind of like the Chiefs. Like whoever's going to the championship is going through Minnesota. You know what I mean? I think that could be a very real possibility for the next few years.
There's 2 teams in the way, though, and this is why I don't think it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got the Thunder, who have a bajillion picks and have won, and they have an MVP and the front runner for MVP this year.
Yeah,
they're looking like a real dynasty. And then the Spurs, man, I can't get over how good the Spurs are already, how good Wemby is already, and he might just snatch that from Anthony Edwards, and it's not even going to be Anthony Edwards' fault.
And that's my thing, bro. I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Trust me. But that matchup that Wemby and Anthony Edwards had earlier this season, like, I understand. I think it's going to be like one of those rivalry things where it's going to be like, okay, he got me this time, just that back and forth kind of thing. But I'm giving the edge to Ant, bro. That's just current Wemby though. So you don't know what he's going to do. He's going to do shit we've never seen, bro. There's no way to gauge what's to come because we've never seen this shit before. So it could get scary.
I will say this though
with Wemby.
I love watching the Timberwolves. They've got some guys on, like, I wanted Terrence Shannon Jr. to do more for them on the bench. He just hasn't been what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I was watching, it was a couple weeks ago, Keontae George had like a 40 ball. So I went back, I watched the game. And I went there to watch the Jazz and to see Keontae George because I want to watch more of him. And I was just glued to how dominant Anthony Edwards was every single time Ace Bailey got onto him.
Yeah.
It was like Ace Bailey, it's like he got beat once, and the second Anthony Edwards had the ball, he was already on his heels because he didn't want to get beat again.
It's that mind game.
He was just toying with them, bro. And that's the thing that Anthony Edwards has, that there aren't very many players in the league that have that, which is like every single time you're going to have to deal with him.
Yep.
You know, like Shea's one of those guys. Luka's one of those guys. And I think Ant is one of those guys. That's why I just want him to like just realize his powers almost.
Yeah.
Just like stop passing the ball. Like, I know you got to pass the ball and you got to be like, he's playing the right basketball. But man, sometimes I don't want you to, dude.
Fuck that shit. Just shoot that thing. Shoot it.
You know, he has everything. He has everything to be the face of the league. And I know that's like the funny conversation with him. I think that's the better question. Is like, Jason Tatum's just never going to be likable enough. He's currently probably the best American-born player in the league.
Yeah, that American in there.
Now,
You know,
of course, that's what I'm saying. You think about like popularity for the sport in the States. Like
Yeah.
Shea's the closest thing. He's Canadian.
Yeah.
And then it's Giannis, it's Luka, it's Jokic, it's Wemby, like all these dudes from Europe. And Jason Tatum, like he's just kind of a corny dude and he's on the Celtics and he's just never going to get as much love and has the potential to be like face of the league universally loved.
Yeah.
Because like who doesn't like Anthony Edwards? And he's that good. And I really want him to just snatch it. But he's at a point now where he can't prove that in the regular season. It's just like, how are you going to respond to the biggest moments in the postseason? Which he's responded well. But it's like, can you slay the giant?
And that right there, exactly what you just said, is why I'm taking Ant right now over Wemby. Because we haven't seen it in the postseason with Wemby yet. And
I don't disagree with you.
we,
I'm just so scared every time I watch Wemby play basketball.
no doubt, I have no doubt that he'll be great in the postseason. We'll see him elevate his game. You know, he's played big games before, and like he played for France. Like those are always big games. Those are more meaningful games for, you know, the locals. Whatever.
Yeah, but it's not playoff basketball.
But it's not playoff
It's not
basketball. And I just need to see Wemby in the playoffs. I need to see them make a run. I need to see him do at least what Anthony Edwards has done so far for me to kind of put them in the same. I'm not just taking the hype. I need to see it. I just got to see it. See it translate.
But it's not even just Wemby, though. It's also Steph Castle.
Yeah, he's crazy. I love watching him play, bro.
And De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper. It's like, oh, my Carter Bryant's
Evan
kind of looking
Vassell's
good, too.
there.
Yeah.
Vassell.
And that is such a blessing.
It's just a load.
Such a blessing for De'Aaron Fox. I'm so happy he got out of Sacramento when he did.
Gets
Because
to play meaningful basketball,
yes,
bro.
because there's no reason that
Oh.
De'Aaron Fox needed to be on the Kings right now, and it would have broke my heart to see
The
that.
Kings today did we're having like a pretty big tanking issue in the league,
Yeah,
and everybody was laughing at the Jazz.
Yeah, but they're not trying to tank.
Kings
The
did
Kings
a
are
2
just
for 1.
dumb.
No, they did a 2-for-1 hold my beer special today, where within an hour they announced Sabonis and Levine were going to be out for the rest of the year with season-ending surgeries.
right.
I watched
Yeah,
them play
but-
last week; they looked fine.
That's different than the Jazz. When the Jazz are during the game,
Yeah,
they'll
that's
be up
crazy.
and then just not play their 3 best players at all during the fourth.
The difference is the Kings can play everybody; they're still going to lose all their games.
Facts.
That's why I don't understand why you even got to do all this. You don't even got to fake tank, dude. You just got to roll them out there.
And it doesn't
Right.
matter who they're drafting. They're gonna trade him in 2 years and then
No, they're going to draft
say that
Bagley
they're
over
looking
Luka.
for him. Well, no, if they draft Darren Peterson, that's another guard, and every time they draft a guard, they trade the guard and then say that's what they need on their team is that position.
Okay, can I rant for just a second?
Take it away.
Because if we're talking about the Kings' incompetence, I was thinking about this. I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm just a huge fan. I love to do a lot of like draft analysis on the prospects.
Mhm.
I was thinking back to the Luka draft. I love DeAndre Ayton. He was probably my favorite like player in the draft. There was no world where Luka wasn't the best player in the draft.
Yeah,
The Suns had the Slovenian national coach as their head coach, Igor Kokoshkov.
no shit.
And they
That's
drafted Ayton over Luka, right? Which is egregious. But at least you can talk yourself into where he's from Arizona, dominant center.
And they made it to the finals
Like-
eventually.
Yeah, like you could talk yourself into the Ayton over Luka thing. I think it's stupid. What's crazy to me the more I think about it is the Kings took Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic.
I think the Bagley one was only
Nah.
because he was going into the year the projected first, but
No excuses.
from everything with Luca was they were worried about how he would translate to the NBA, but
He won a EuroLeague Finals MVP.
he was
At
the
18 years
EuroLeague is
old.
better competition than college basketball.
And you know what? I just watched the Game 7 Dirk Nowitzki documentary. And I think he was kind of getting that same treatment that Dirk kind of got because they had this. They talk about how Euros just had the stigma of like, are they tough enough? Can they play in an NBA style?
They're all the best
basketball?
players in the league
And that's
now.
my thing. I'm like, dog, what were y'all seeing that y'all didn't see this coming a mile away? Because as soon as they got here, it was just like, damn, these motherfuckers can actually hoop. Like, damn.
All of them.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Ran over. Had nothing to do with Anthony Edwards.
No, you good.
T-Wolves, go ahead.
We good. We got 2 more. This one's interesting. I don't necessarily see this guy or this team as a contender, but I do have questions, and it's the Charlotte Hornets and LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
My question is, are they real? And by that I mean, like, is this a sustainable brand of basketball that they're playing right now? Is this something that they can do year in and year out and have success? And who is the real 1A? Is it LaMelo? Because we've seen him take his back seat and we see the team progress, and we've seen Brandon Miller trying to take over that scoring role, and they've just been a lot better in that little system. So do we believe that this is what the Charlotte Hornets are now, or are they just kind of having a not necessarily a Cinderella year, but is this are they real? Are they real? Do you believe in this team for future success?
Going into the All-Star break, they won 10 of their last 11 games. They're the hottest team in basketball. It feels like they finally figured it out.
Before their win streak that was like 10 in a row, they were the only team that had a negative record and a positive net rating.
Which is kind of
So
wild.
they have just played this good all the time. It's just there's been some games that weren't going their way.
Yep.
I do think I would rather see LaMelo on a different team for them, because I think they found future pieces to build around other than him,
Mhm.
and that's what it was looking like all year. So
I don't think that would be
I think it would be better for them and LaMelo to move on.
I don't think that would be the downfall of the franchise either, because they've tried this with LaMelo for the past, and for whatever reason now he's kind of buying into taking the backseat on the team, and they've gotten better. So I think the production that they're getting from LaMelo right now can be replaced, because it's not like LaMelo's a great player, but I don't think he's thriving in Charlotte. I honestly don't think like they're capitalizing or just getting the most out of him. I just think he's a really good player, and he's just adjusted to what's going on. So I agree. I think he could have a lot more success somewhere else. I don't know exactly where that will be right now, but I think I took Charlotte's under when we were doing our over unders and in the off season, and now it looks stupid because they're hooping.
Well, the issue was I loved their draft. I liked their free agency. They had no
big man.
bigs. They still don't. They're playing Diabate, who's an undersized center. I love him. He's awesome. And then it's Kalkbrenner, who's a rookie. The thing with LaMelo is you look at all the guys like him that have been traded. John Morant basically had negative trade value. Nobody wanted to trade anything for John Morant. LaMelo's value isn't where John Morant's is. Trae Young got salary dumped. LaMelo's in that same kind of guard. He's probably has more value than the other two.
I would say so.
But if I'm the Hornets, unless I'm getting an offer that makes sense, I'm not trading him for pennies.
Yeah.
Because he is a talented player. You got Con Knuppel, Brandon Miller, and the rookies, and maybe they can get a guy in this year's draft, but it doesn't look like it, man. They're going to be a playoff team, I think. They're the hottest team in basketball. They're not a contender, but I mean, they could easily get to the second round, beat anyone in the first round. And who knows? I wouldn't be shocked if the Hornets could beat a team like the Pistons.
I could see it.
You already got the bad blood with the fight.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of in each other's heads.
That would be primetime basketball.
That would be a fun series, bro.
And if I had to pick a team,
if they're just making threes,
yeah,
it could be bad Pistons too, because
very bad.
They've one of the better 3-point shooting teams now, I feel like.
If I had to pick a team to go on a little Cinderella run and win it all just off a whim and off of believing in themselves, it'd be Charlotte Hornets.
The power of friendship.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I just don't think that LaMelo's going anywhere because I don't think they're going to get enough for it to make sense.
I'd love to see him stay and have success and they get some. I mean, if they win one, great, but
it's just up to him. It's just up to him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I just don't like the fit of 3 guards pretty much that all are ball dominant is what it feels like.
I feel kind of like the Raptors right now, but they're hooping as well. So this could be that. Like I mentioned before the season, this could be the new small ball. Nobody saw it before. It just came kind of out of nowhere, and it's working. It's working. Like we talked about before the season started, it's actually working. These guys are playing good basketball, and they're finding ways to win. So this could be a new brand of basketball that we see a lot more people adopt. You know, the copycat league whole thing It could be. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the only issue. I think Khan can obviously play off ball at an elite rate. We knew that coming into the league. He's going to be a really good off ball player, off rip. The issue is he's so good on ball that he kind of has to have the ball in his
Yeah,
hands.
facts. Yeah.
And that's what does make it hard. You have three guys who really need the ball in their hands to succeed, but Brandon Miller doesn't. Khan doesn't need it. LaMelo does, but he's a point guard. He's supposed to.
Right. And I would want the ball in his hands, to be honest.
Exactly. You're going to have to figure out how to get those three guys to gel together offensively. But you're right, Rich. There is something about having five guys on the court that can dribble, pass, shoot. You know, as long as they can, there's one ball. So as long as they can figure out ways to keep everybody happy and spread the ball around.
Yeah.
We are kind of seeing a blueprint with the Raptors and the Hornets, who both didn't make much sense to me preseason, but I like a lot of their players.
Yep. Me too.
It's working. I'm interested to see how it develops.
All right.
What's the last one?
So, at the top, we kind of started with KD and talked about the timeline, and then we kind of got into some guys that are just emerging. This kind of has both of them in it, and this is why I told you, Hunter, I'm glad you're wearing that jersey, and I want you to start because you're a fan. And I love this team. Like, I just love the Cavaliers. But specifically with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, my question is, do they have all they need? And who is your X factor in your opinion? Because I have an idea, but I want to hear it from you first. See how you feel and what's the X factor on your team. Do you think you got all you need to win it?
They have all they need. It's how will they play in the playoffs? Because they have the team built for it. They have a really good starting five.
Elite.
They have a good backup core. I think the main factor is just basically how well will Donovan Mitchell and Harden stay in the playoffs. Because that's been the thing for both of their careers, is they don't make it very far.
Yeah.
But now they both have someone else, another guard. Thanks, Alex. I can see you laughing. It's a weird fit when you think about that, but Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs himself has always been amazing. Like, if you look at his stats, you can't really ever blame it on him. Harden's the same most of the time, but there is series where it doesn't look great. But I don't feel the pressure on Harden that you would on, like, the Rockets or even the Clippers last year. Or the Sixers sometimes that you would have, because you have everyone else on the starting five can get you 15 to 20 points. So.
And he mentioned it. He said it himself. He came here to just elevate what they already had going on. And I think he's literally just a much older but more elite version of what Darius Garland was giving y'all when he was healthy. And although I know some people were disappointed about Darius Garland going because he's younger, but it don't matter how old you are. If you're not playing basketball,
that's real.
What are we doing?
I don't even think it was he's younger. It was Garland was like the team favorite for everyone.
That's why I feel you.
They did the trade.
Okay, but you're telling me he's like the best cook, but you don't ever spend any time in the kitchen.
I mean,
don't give a shit.
Yeah, right. I never tasted this motherfucker's food.
The window,
right?
It shortens the window to win, but it makes it more realistic.
Yeah,
because
you didn't have a window before. Your window was the second round.
You had to rely on Garland staying healthy, and it's just not worked the last few years on him staying healthy. So
the X factor hasn't changed.
Always plays.
The X factor for the team hasn't changed.
You want to go Mobley?
It has been. It will be Evan Mobley. Donovan Mitchell's going to cook. I don't have a problem with Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. I like to say that he never makes it past the second round. He plays well at least. James Harden plays like Dookie in the playoffs, and he's going to have to show up.
Yeah.
Or at least just not suck. That's all he has to do, because on this team, Donovan Mitchell gets to take all of the load offensively.
He doesn't need to be the scorer that you need him to be.
And Evan Mobley and Jared Allen defensively, Jalen Tyson. He doesn't have to shoot the lights out. Harden does. If they're going to win, Mobley's going to have to hit just that next level offensively.
Yeah.
He's got to be a
think
threat offensively if they're going
Harden's
to
the
win.
perfect player to help him with
He
that.
is. That's what I'm saying. Harden is the guy
He
that can unlock
always
Mobley.
makes his bigs better. So
And that was my thing.
he's already done it with Jared Allen. So
And that was exactly where I was about to go because I know, like, if we're talking picking out a big three for y'all right now for the Cavaliers, I'm taking Mitch, Harden, Mobley. To me, the X factor on a smaller scale, on like a tier under those guys, would be the Jared Allen because what can he do? He can jump hella high. He can dunk on motherfuckers. He can rebound. So with a guy like James Harden, who plays just like like a Luka Doncic, who's either driving kick or driving lob most of the time, that kind of elevates Jared Allen's game, and puts him in positions to have more confidence and maybe expand and try other things come postseason when they're getting a little different looks and stuff they haven't seen before. He can kind of emerge as that fourth piece that kind of puts it all together for him. So to me, Jared Allen's kind of their X factor, just like a low key X factor underneath those guys.
he has had the playoff problem though.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's been the one key player that hasn't really played how we wanted him to in the
yeah.
playoffs.
And that's why, because
I
if
mean,
he can, it changes everything for you, along with those other
they got a
guys
quote
doing
of
what
him
they
saying the lights were brighter than expected. So
do. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's my whole list.
But
Go ahead.
I think his
The
problem.
lights were brighter than expected, but Sam Darnold also was seeing ghosts once.
Dog, that's my favorite story in the
Super Bowl champion
NFL right
now,
now,
so,
bro.
I mean,
That's like I almost shed a tear. That was beautiful.
I don't even think I realized I was seeing ghosts out there was against the Patriots too, which makes it even better that he beat the Pats in the Super Bowl. Yeah, Rich, I love the list. Just to recap, can you go through all five real quick?
Yep.
Because just in case we had some technical difficulties at the start.
Yeah. I got some honorable mentions I'll throw in at the end. I'll just kind of rapid fire them. If y'all want to say something, just kind of interrupt me. But
No, I
going
love it.
from 1 to 5, what we just did, we got the Houston Rockets and KD, talking about his legacy. We got Detroit Pistons and Kate Cunningham. Is this, how do they fare up against the top four of the West? Do we think they could really win it? Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards. Where do they go from here, basically? The Charlotte Hornets and LaMelo Ball. Are we seeing a new brand of basketball? Does LaMelo stay? What kind of goes on there? And then the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden and kind of new look. Do they have everything they need? And we all kind of say they do. They just have to show it now. A few honorable mentions here. Like I said, I'll just go through. If y'all want to say anything, just stop me. But I got the Knicks with Cat and Brunson. Like, can they figure out how to make that work? And Karl Anthony Towns kind of get, like, he was in the All-Star game dunking on guys and, like, showing a little aggression because, Wemby kind of set the tone. But can we get that out of Cat for a full series, for a full, 16 games? Should it go that long? Well, they have to win 16 games if they want to win it all. But I got the Magic and Paolo Banchero. He's kind of been a little quiet. He doesn't have friends for the rest of the year. What are we?
PB no J.
Yeah. What are we getting from you, bro? Like, we need to see, like, you're good. We know you're talented, but what's going on there? Like, are you the real deal, or what can we really expect? And then I had to mention Spurs and Wemby. Like we mentioned before, what are we going to see from them in the postseason? I'm predicting great things, but we'll see. The Sixers and Joel Embiid. There was so much talk about him not being the same guy. He kind of bounced back and had a little stretch there where he was just doing Joel Embiid stuff.
He's
It was
balling,
great to
bro.
see. Made me really happy.
Got to give credit.
Yes. And then the Raptors and Brandon Ingram. Scotty Barnes has already kind of been solidified as their guy. Brandon Ingram came in. Of course, Steph Curry dropped out and then he got his All-Star selection, but he was still selected as an All-Star. Can you elevate this team to new heights and go along with Scotty Barnes and kind of be that guy that takes them to places they've never been? Well, I mean, Kawhi did that already, but in this new era of the Raptors, can you be that guy? But that's everything, man. I thought that was a great conversation. This is really fun. I like building this list.
I love it, bro.
I love
I thought it
conversations
was
like
great.
that.
Come on. We love talking basketball, and the basketball is only going to get better. Getting into the playoffs. We're excited about it. This is Trade Machine Podcast. Listen to us where you listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Everybody tell Hunter he's looking extra good in the comments. He needs a little pick me up. He looks a little sad.
Smolder, look at him.
Yeah, he's trying to look sexy too. It's kind of working. You look good. I mean, don't get me wrong. All right, that's it. Peace out.